Oh, it's just one resistance guy. I don't know exactly how random it is. I've had times where I've gotten to this and fought some guys that were super high level and like late game. As you can see, this guy isn't going down with quite the ease of a regular fodder. Oof. Also, when you're being launched backwards, you can actually you can absolutely press a button in the air to recover. I generally favor block, because if you do an attack in the air, you'll just be left open for a juggle of some sort, depending on how many enemies are around. A one-on-one like this is actually pretty straightforward. I don't have to worry too much, because I'm not going to be surrounded. Oh yeah, you'll also notice that my sword is no longer doing that fire effect, meaning there's no chance of me hurting myself or my allies. Because one thing you also have to be careful of is if someone is being affected by an element, blue for ice, or actually no, it'll be blue with bits of ice on them for ice, red with fiery bits for frozen, and then blue with electricity for obviously being zapped. If you touch someone like that, regardless of how, you will start suffering from damage as well. And even enemies being flung back, like that are just flying in the air, no attacks, you will actually be stunned by being hit by them. You're as weak as I thought. We're not going to bother. Keep going. That was just demonstrating the little secret there. No more, no more. We are wasting time. So that's just a fun little Easter egg. It's a good place to get some level ups too if you're confident that you'll be able to take on a couple battles. What's this dickhead? Caught you at last. I knew you'd join the resistance. Now all of you will feel pain. His dialogue does get way better in the 360 version. They touch up some of the dialogue too. So your village guard is operational. Oh, loyal village guard, protect us in our moment of need. Attack the king's men. They shall do evil deeds no more. I don't think so. That's right, you overrated hunk of scrap metal. Attack! Destroy those who side the resistance. Hey, not at me. I've reprogrammed your guard to follow my commands. So now that's kind of a mini-boss, and he is a tough one. And he's a big-ass sprite. You really don't want to give him a chance to attack, because they're all very good. You want to keep them grounded if you can. There's a type of enemy that can actually get up in the air. You'll also notice that he's able to do that laser move in front of him that activates the firewall at various distances. That's also another difference between his... That's like a basic attack that's both strong and weak, like the weak one being closer. If you're being surrounded like that and not blocking like I was just now, you can actually press the attack button to do an attack that just clears everyone out from around you. Great, now he's in the air. That's bad. He has good moves up there. So, yeah, this one especially. So I'm going to get him out of the air as fast as I can. And I got affected by my own fire because I hit the ground faster than he hit the ground. There's also a slight bug where the flying enemies can access more planes than just the three that are, like the three that I can. Because when they're in the air, they don't move between planes, they actually move left and right, like they would in a regular beat-em-up. And when you land, you can actually land in between the planes, and in some cases, making yourself invincible. Or in most cases, rather, just making it so you can't attack or be attacked, depending on where you stick it. And of course, Zur cannot be defeated here. You'll notice his health is not going down. The battle depends on how fast you defeat the village guardian. Also, mechs explode, as we saw in that opening. I guess we're just going to beat up on him for a wee bit. Okay, we're done. I like these odds better. Charge! And I gotta fight him again. He's, if you haven't figured out, his little archetype is just the annoying, cowardly guy. he's a super annoying idiot. He is way more likable in, I'm just gonna spam my magic, because I have a bunch of MP I'm not using. But, yeah, he is a way better character in the 360 version. They change up the dialogue quite a bit. It's not just a port. A lot of changes are made, a lot of which I agree with. Some I don't, but I mean, we'll get there when we get there. My health is very low. The only way to recover your health if you don't have the girl on your team, because she's obviously the support character, is when you're stunned, you gain health, but the problem with that is you can't move, and I mean, you have to be hit by a strong attack to be stunned in the first place, and that's usually not optimal. Anyways, I just died. I do have 99 lives. I'm playing on easy just to ensure I get to the end of this game. I have beat the game on normal and hard. In order to unlock characters in the story mode, or in the versus mode, you have to beat them in normal, so I'm not actually going to unlock anything, but yeah, just take my word for it. How dare you attack me? You would attack a member of the royal kingdom. How could you? Kingdom, huh. I see that you've been promoted from dung inspector since I've been in the castle. Didn't you know that the Khans are faked dictators who replaced the real royal family? They caused a revolution to seize control. Fake? The royal family? Ah, you were chief of the night troop. How do you know about that? Now you have a big golden freak for your ally. Nobody told me about that. I have no other choice. I have been holding back. Now I must show my real power. On second thought, I have urgent business back at the castle. You're lucky I have to go. Then, my blue night troop is not made of real royal knights? I don't know their purpose, but I know that imposters have gained power. They are planning something horrible. Creating a wizardly kingdom is only part of it. They are manipulating the whole kingdom for their own personal benefit? No way, I will destroy them! Alright, now we get our next choice. Approach castle from the forest, approach castle from the town, or avoid the battle in town. Why don't we approach from the forest, just for a change of scenery. Stage 11, Uncertain Messenger. Oh, that one guy ran. That one's the true hero. But yeah, so here's a little bit of channel trivia actually. This isn't my first time playing Guardian Heroes for my channel. My friend John and I, one of my first ever videos for the channel back in the day, it's weird to say because a couple episodes of Saturn Archives ago I did Blast Chamber, which was one of my first videos. I played that with Tim and Chris. Another one of my first was Guardian Heroes with my boy John. I mean, but it's old. Like, the quality is bad because I had a worse capture card. This is all like HDMI. The audio was bad because it was recording through his laptop, which picked up the sound of the fan. So it's like, hey, you don't need to go back. I never thought anybody would dare to challenge my Blue Knights. Now, this is I was going to mention it earlier, but I thought I'd wait for the opportunity, and it is now. When at that very first choice, when you choose to go to the forest and rest, if you're playing as Randy, the magician, he meets his old master, and there's some like dialogue exchange between them that only happens if you're playing as Randy. Because Randy doesn't just show up to be part of the dialogue, you have to be playing as him. And in this case, if you get to this stage, you have to be playing as Han to witness this little discussion here. If I was playing as anyone else, this discussion would not be happening. Chief, what are you doing here? Han, I see, you are the revolutionaries, eh? Is it time to see who is stronger? You, get the princess back. I'll be done here in a second. Princess? Is Lucia there? So, most characters have their... Actually, wait, maybe not Jinjiro. But Han and Serena at least have mirror mode characters. And this guy, I don't think it even said his name, but I'm pretty sure his name's Gash. He is literally the mirror of Han. We have all the same moves. You'll notice that everything he's doing is stuff that you've seen me doing so far. There we go. Beat up him a little bit. Okay, dude, you can stop. Jesus. No, stop. It's fine now. His health bar is gone. Falcon, it's funny you say this art style reminds you of Mischief Makers. Mischief Makers and Guardian Heroes are both treasure games. So, neat of you to piece that together. Maybe by accident? Idiots, don't worry about me. Do your job. Han, you are a true champion. Yeah, there's no names on this. Like, they don't put the name of the character when they speak, but yeah, that character's name is Gash. Oh, we got the muscle dudes. Darn it, Lucia. Yeah, the chief came here to take Lucia back. I've heard that the princess often sneaks out of the castle. When I met her, I thought she'd be snobbish, but no, she is really cool. Okay, thanks for your input. Weird muscle jobbers. Hopefully hopefully based on the paths I had chosen, we actually get more into the muscle men storyline, because there are a number of different storylines here. There's the mostly mechs, there's the magicians, there's the warriors, there's the muscle men, there's like the undead one. There's so many different themes and stuff happening in this. Oh, that guy's darker, so you can tell he's the toughest. Anyways, I wanted to demonstrate the actual difference between the down attacks in midair. It's a lot easier on big enemies, but I might be able to do it here. If you hit someone with down B from the air... Oh, guess I can't show it off now the battle's over. This isn't one where you kill everyone, it's another fixed one. Han, what are you doing here? You don't by any chance... Are you there, Lucia? Don't try to get away. More searchers coming. You're keeping us busy. You. Please stop, brother. These people saved my life. Besides, you need to know why I snuck out of the castle this time. It wasn't because I was bored. What? I know life in the castle is boring, but you could have worse to complain about. I found out something I shouldn't have. I got scared. I overheard a conversation between Canon and that monster. Why have they built a wizard kingdom? What do they want from us? It is not polite to eavesdrop, princess. I should punish you. And now we meet the midpoint. Regardless of the choices you make, it will always come to this particular... Well, not this exchange, but this meeting. Usually you don't meet up with the princess, and you don't learn about her story arc. So, like, a couple characters will come and go, and you actually learn more about what they're doing depending on the things you take. Lucia, leave at once. Undesirable elements are staying in our castle. But brother, go now! And this, like, literally at this line, you will always come to this particular spot where we have to, like, the branching of the story is like, you start at the beginning, it branches out again, and then all branches meet to the middle, and then it starts branching out again. The bloodline of the true Khans was not completely destroyed, eh, Serena? Our troop trained you well, if you survived this long. Now you think your day has come? The Khans were slain long ago. Why avenge crimes that happened before you were ever born? Shut up, Canon. Even if the Khans were wiped out of existence, how can I say nothing? I have seen the magic of a dark wizard mock the true glory of the Khans. You are brave to speak so freely. You have the royal fire, just like that dead queen. Your mother. You look just like her, Princess Serena. Serena? A princess of the Khans? Nonsense. My family has ruled this land since ancient times. My father, the king, never spoke of any change in the royal family. Oh, he's strong enough to stop even him. I remember a warrior. He fought to his last breath the night your family was destroyed. He should have died along with the men he killed on the outskirts of town. I never dreamed that I would come face to face with him again. The warrior who died when my family was destroyed? I knew we'd met each other before. I knew he was the Knight of the Khans. The king himself said just before he died, "Now my kingdom is that of the sword. Destroy us now. The sword will return and avenge us." As a precaution, I ordered my warriors to gather every scrap of steel and iron. Not one sword in the kingdom had such power. I should have looked more carefully. A sword found by a stranger turned out to be the one. Serena, when your rebels and the sword work together as one, that's when my troubles began. What are you up to, Canon? By the time I was born, you already held total power. Why in the world did you have to destroy my family? I hope you guys are ready for a fucking story time. Because this is it. This is the lengthiest one, right in the middle. You cannot avoid it. In ancient times, humans merely existed. Proud sky spirits ruled the sky and earth spirits ruled the earth. These mighty beings fought each other. Humans were caught in the middle and cowered in fear. Then the sky spirits gave us magic, a power beyond the imagination of most humans. I'm obviously going to try to get through this as fast as I can. We decided to help the sky spirits in their fight against the earth spirits. We fought with all our might. Most of the wizards died. But we finally succeeded. We banished the earth spirits into darkness. But the sky spirits were unhappy. They began to envy and fear our newly acquired power. They pushed us, the wizards, who would have died for them, into the same darkness as the earth spirits. The survivors forgot about magic. This was called the Time of the Sword. I vowed revenge and waited for the right time when I could revive magic in this world. Oh no, he's being blocked by the tree in the foreground. I don't usually take this path, so I didn't realize that Ganon was behind something. I think it also depends on where the battle finishes. Things could potentially be in the way. I used spells to hold down the earth spirits and crawled from the darkness. The Khans would not trust my magic, so I destroyed them. I replaced them with a wizard kingdom, where I hid and waited. You destroyed the Khans for your own evil purposes. Evil purposes? No, to save humanity. I am sorry, Volgar, but you chose to live by the sword, like a fool. If you were a puppet like the king, you would have lived much longer. Father, he knew everything? Bye, Volgar. But those who found the sword also found trouble, didn't they? Far better if they'd met me before they met this woman. Well, that's all right. Let it go. Everything's still on schedule. The dawn of the sorcerers is about to begin. Now this is where it branches out. All of these will lead to different stages and different outcomes of the story from here on out. Some of these involve you fighting Ganon and defeating him now. Some of them have him dying by someone else's hands, disguised as someone else. It's all very complicated where this can go from here. I think the top three are fighting him, and the bottom two are him getting killed by someone else. And you know what? Because I'm not confident as Han as I am with Serena, I think I'm gonna have to choose one of these. We're gonna go with, was force the only option? Power is everything. I couldn't take revenge until I had the power of the earth spirits. But now I will show my power to the sky itself. Ugh, no way. You can break my spells? You... And then he takes off. Now, if we were to fight him, it's like literally one of the hardest battles in the game. It's super unfair. You might as well be fighting like one of the final bosses now, and then another final boss later. So it's a really good way to eat up lives if you're playing on normal. Alright. Another tiny gripe with the controls of this is when I was running just now, you have to mash the forward button. You can't just double tap forward and then hold it. You actually have to continue mashing forward to continue running. And that's a little annoying. Oh, there's some Cyclops now. You can, these enemies are super big, but you can tell that their sprites are actually just as big as anyone else's because their pixels are twice as big. But it's fine. It's weird because it's slightly inconsistent. Because when I was fighting the village god earlier, you could see that the village god's resolution was just as high as like any other character. And then these Cyclops just have gigantic pixels. But it's whatever. Oh yeah, I wanted to demonstrate the difference. If you down B an enemy and it hits, or you can just get in the middle of everything and wish you weren't. If it hits, you bounce off him and you have a chance to do another one. I did not do a very good demonstration of it. Let's see if I can here. See if you hit. Oops. Ugh. There is double jump as well. I don't think I mentioned that earlier. It's a good way to get it. Ropers are like the hardest of the regular enemies to fight. But let's see if I can demonstrate it. You can keep tapping down B. You hop off of the opponent when it strikes, and then you can continue doing it. There's the surrounding attack. If you're fighting a lot of big guys in a row, like sometimes, yeah, see, there we go. I got 2 in on that guy. 2 stabs to the throat. But that's kind of the main difference. That's why you go with that one over the meteor strike one. But that's just also really good because it does fire damage as well. It's like, you know, if you have a lot of big enemies, or a lot of enemies all in a row, you could do that, but if you have a lot of enemies all in one place, you do the fire one. There we go. Another thing I may have failed to mention so far is regaining MP. It's kind of been obvious, but because this isn't a magic using character, I'm not really using MP. I'll just use a bit of MP now. I'll just set everyone on fire, including myself. Oh, thanks a lot. I'm pretty sure the Golden Knight did that one. But obviously you gain your MP back by just attacking. Or dying, like I just demonstrated. The Golden Knight Freakout mode is actually something I also wanted to show off. But maybe not at this moment, because you want to protect him while he's freaking out at a certain point. Maybe I can get him to do it now. Oh, that's not great. I don't want enemies on both sides. Because I can't exactly choose when he does it, so if we get surrounded and he gets hit while he's charging his special, because he has to charge it for a while. Oh, there it is! That's a move that fucks shit up, and I'm glad we got to see it, because it is a little difficult to pull off. Because as you saw, that charge time, although not really that long, it's a considerable amount of time when you're fighting a lot of guys, and you want to use it when you're fighting a lot of guys. So it's a risk versus reward thing. Stubborn, aren't you? I don't have time for this. Get out of here. You're the one who has to get out. Okay, it was Vulgar that kills him this time. There are different times when someone else will kill him, but I guess it was just Vulgar this time. You fools, if I die, do you think it's finished? My rage will live forever, even if this body perishes. So, canon, the main villain that was just introduced is already dead. You can go on to fight his creations, and him lasting a lot longer. I think? Yeah, I think there's a couple where he lasts a bit longer. But he's just dead now. I hate to admit it, but what you said was true. I believed in Canon, obeyed him, but all he desired was his own revenge. I thought a kingdom could be created with magic. I thought we could protect people with artificial soldiers, but I was wrong. When he says that, he's referring to mechs. I think that's what he means by artificial soldiers. And that's kind of why they created mechs, because, hey, we don't have magic. We don't have ranged attacks anymore. We have to invent mechs with guns. We haven't really seen a lot of mechs, though, because the path I chose was not the sci-fi one. All wrong. Hey, it's not over yet. We can still save the kingdom. Alright, so we want to search Cannon's lair, destroy Cannon's army, or ask about the Earth Spirits. Why don't we search Cannon's lair? Did you say Earth Spirits? Are we going to fight them? No, I said search his lair. Are you retarded?